Hello again. I'm going to talk a bit today about my Royal Albert Old Country Roses collection. Excuse me. And I want to start here with these are pages actually from Sears catalogs, and they were included with the Royal Albert China that I bought online a while ago. So I decided, of course, I was going to keep them because it's quite interesting. This, I think, is from February of 1983. And you can see that the 5-piece place setting was regular $85 and was on sale for $49.99. And you can see there the prices of the extra pieces. The cream and sugar was on sale for $27.95. Not bad prices at all. I mean, but back in 1983, to even pay $50 for one place setting, it would have been a lot for most people. And now this one is also 1983. Somebody wrote up there, not August 1983, and at that time they were half price. And so we can see here they had Old Country Roses, and I think Moonlight Rose was included in this as well. No, Old Country Rose, I'm sorry, and Autumn Roses. And the 5-piece place setting in August was $43.25, regular $86.50. So that was interesting. Now this piece here, somebody had handwritten here that back in let's see, September of 2006, their China 12 place settings would have been valued at $7,500. Now whether they're basing that on the sale prices or actual prices, I'm not sure, because again, it was at 40% off. And let's see, they have a lot of different patterns here. Moonlight Rose is included. And at that point, a five-piece place setting was on sale for $110, regular $220. So it had gone up a fair bit from 83 till 2007. And I said I was going to talk a bit about back stamps, and according to what I've read online, the original Royal Albert did not have a year on the back stamp. They started that, I think, around 1972 or 73, and they did it to show a copyright, I guess, because so many other companies were copying this very popular pattern, and you can certainly see why. This is not Royal Albert Old Country Roses. It is a very well-made bone china vase. And at first glance, you would think, oh yeah, that's Old Country Roses. I certainly did. Now, I looked at the back stamp and saw that it wasn't, but it was at a thrift store, and I bought it anyway. But I've also gone into stores many times and was about to grab something thinking it was Old Country Roses, only to discover it wasn't, and it maybe wasn't as good a quality. So this is something I got recently. I guess it's a potpourri holder. And that has a newer back stamp. You see it has the 1962 copyright, but this was not made in 1962. It's much more recent than that. Still, it's very pretty. It's a cat, and I have a cat. I like cats, so I was glad to get that. This little piece here, as far as I know, that is the original back stamp. And I will always stand to be corrected on anything. I did look this up online. There is a website that shows actual colored pictures of the back stamps and gives you details on which ones were used when. So that's just a little, I guess you could use it for a few candy or relish or even jam if you wanted to. I got this knife, or cake knife. Now there's no date on that. It is Royal Albert. And I know there's a lot of things made in the Old Country Roses pattern. I thought that was a nice thing to have. I do have a couple of cake plates, so nice thing to use. Now, I recently bought this cup at a thrift store, and it's just something about it. It says Old Country Roses. And it's got 1962 Royal Albert, but it just doesn't look like a Royal Albert cup. There's just something about it that, well, I can see that there's a few places where the paint or the pattern is coming off, but it's not just that. It doesn't have either flower on the inside, and I guess you'd have to feel it. It just doesn't feel to me that it's got that quality. I don't know, and I probably will never know if it's a real or fake, but there it is. Now this is a Royal Doulton lady, another one of those, and as I've said before, I have quite a few. And her name is Catherine. And as you can see, her pattern on her dress, it does match the Royal Albert Old Country Roses. And I have one that matches my Moonlight Rose. I actually have a Royal Doulton lady that has the, I think it's lavender rose pattern, and I don't have those dishes at all. So I can't really justify buying a set of dishes just to match Royal Doulton lady. But yeah, there she is, and she's very pretty. And I do display her with my Old Country Roses. Find a place to put this down where I won't damage anything. And again, this tray is the older back stamp. Well, you can see that. I'm just trying to make a bit of room here now. Got this little guy recently, and I loved it. It was with a set of dinnerware, and I think this was the main reason I bought the dinnerware and ended up with extra pieces. It is a Royal Albert Old Country Roses, and he has the raised roses around his neck, and he's a little piggy bank. And I just thought he was gorgeous, and it just looks so cute. And you know, if you were setting a table and you wanted to use it as a, I don't know, in some sort of a centerpiece display, I don't know if it would discourage people from eating since he's a pig, and you know, but he's cute and I loved him, and I'm so glad to have him. I'll just put him back here. This I bought at Salvation Army thrift store. And you see it's got the Old Country Roses on the throw that goes over the back of the chair and here on the book. And it is a teapot. I'll just take the lid out here. But it's not recommended for use, and I wouldn't use it anyway. And I don't think you're going to be able to see that back stamp very well. The back stamp just says Royal Albert Earthenware, made under license, and there's a 1996, I think. And again, it says not for food use. But it's certainly, as I say, it would make a beautiful centerpiece display. I'll get the cover in here now without damaging it. Just bear with me. And it's just incredibly detailed. I'm going to wait. As you can see, the cover has the book, Royal Albert, reading about Royal Albert. Little bowl with fruit. Very well done. And very pretty. And I think I paid $30 for that at a Salvation Army thrift store, which was maybe a bit more than I would have liked to, but it's not something I'd seen before, not something I'd see very often, so I was happy to have it. I do have this little dinner bell. And again, there's the Royal Albert back stamp inside. I have two of these. I don't know what it is. Is it if it's a vase or what the intended purpose is? I would certainly use it for a vase. And again, it has a newer back stamp, but it's still made in England. I think, I'm not sure, but I think it was from 2002 on that things started to be made overseas. And this is my teapot trivet. which I was really happy to get. As I said before in previous video, I have a few, maybe 4 or 5 trivets to match my different dish patterns. So I was really pleased to get that one. And as you can see, I've got the teapot, a couple of coffee pots, cake stand. I do have a couple of the larger cream and sugars. I have 8 of these. These are Royal Albert Old Country Roses napkin rings. And these, I believe, were made, I'll just have a look here and see. Yeah, these were made in China, so they're certainly not old, but they are nice. And I hadn't seen them before. I was happy to get them, and it's nice to have 8 when you're setting a table. Now, my cat is going to try to get up on the table because he's wondering what I'm doing. Duffy, get down. I have a couple of these cake plates. Again, these are quite nice, and I think one of them has a newer back stamp and one the older. And let's see. Oh, yeah, I got, you got to get down out of there because you're going to do some damage. Come on, down, get down. My cat, Duffy, well, he just turned 16. So and he's pretty much allowed to run out of the house, but he does not get on the kitchen table unless I'm trying to do something like I am right now. So he's gone on now. Not very pleased with me, but he's gone on. I just bought this locally on Marketplace, and it is the tea kettle, So this you would actually put on the stove and boil your water. So that's something, I haven't used it for that yet. Let's try to get the back stamp there. And it is an older back stamp. And I don't know where this was made. Oh, yes, I do, because it's on the back stamp, made in Taiwan. It's hard, I find it difficult to read through the camera. So made in Taiwan. It's not new, it's not old, but I hadn't seen the actual kettle before. And so that's something I can leave on the back of my stove. And I thought it was very nice. It even has the Royal Albert pattern in the handle. So it's lovely. And let's see what else we might have over here without doing any damage. I recently got this ginger jar, which was another thing I was very pleased to get. And let me see here. Yeah, it was made in England. Most of what I have when it comes to China is made in England. I do have some things that were made in China, like the napkin holders or overseas, and that's fine. Like I said before, if it's a piece that I'm looking for, and that's the only piece I can find like it, I will buy it. But for the most part, these things are made in England. It's a beautiful pattern. I'm hopefully going to get to use it very shortly on a table. And that's it. We'll just, I think, finish up there. I don't want to go too long. And I do want to thank everybody who's taken the time to watch my videos. And definitely, if you've taken the time to subscribe, I appreciate it very much. This is just something for me to do in my retirement. And again, to share my love of China and other things. I will, before I go, just say very quickly about these rimmed soup bowls. I had a few more of these and I sold them, and that's another regret, because apparently the rimmed soup bowls are more collectible than what you would call a cereal bowl. But that's it. They're gone, and I'm not going to get them back unless I come across some. But I do have those. I have pretty much a 12-place setting of everything in the Royal Albert Old Country Roses, along with my few extra pieces. So I'm pleased with it. And again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing or leaving messages or a thumbs up. And hopefully we'll be talking again soon. And you have a great day.